Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Ik, your host for today. Have you guys ever heard about the acronym VTEC? Most Honda fanboy will know that this is the masterpiece for a Honda engine. But what it is all about, we'll talk about it in a minute. Okay, first of all, the VTEC or Variable Valve Timing and Lift Electronic Control is developed by Honda engineer named Iko Kajitani. The system solves the problem where the engine gaining high-end power out of small displacement while at the same time maintain lower fuel consumption at lower RPM. The system uses 2 or 3 camshaft profiles and hydraulically select between profiles. In a traditional engine, the camshaft opens and closes the valve and its lobes are all the same size. But in VTEC engine, the camshaft has 2 different lobe size, 2 standard size for outer lobes and a larger center lobes. At lower RPM, only the outer lobes are controlling the valve. As the engine begins to spin more quickly, the center lobes take over and the valve opens sooner and close later, which result in a sudden burst of speed and a better performance. It might not really mean anything if you are driving in a start-stop situation, let's say in a town. But when you are in the right place and the right situation, you'll have a lot of fun driving when the VTEC kicks in. You'll know the difference when the VTEC is activated by the sudden change of the engine sounds like this. The VTEC was introduced in 1989 with the DA series Honda Integra that used the B16A engine, which produced 160 horsepower, and the rest was history. Today, there are several varieties derived from the VTEC technology. One of them is iVTEC or the Intelligent VTEC. The iVTEC combines VTEC system with the Honda's VTC or Variable Timing Control, which is a mechanism attached to the end of the intake camshaft, which acts as a continuously cam gear. The first iVTEC appears in 2001 in Honda K series 4-cylinder engine, and there is 2 different iVTEC systems implemented by Honda. The iVTEC on the performance engines like the K20A will behave like the original B16A, while the economy iVTEC are used in L series and R series engine. The most famous one is our familiar L15 series engine, which is installed in most of the modern Honda car today. The other variant that uses the VTEC emblem is the VTEC Turbo, which utilizes the L15 engine with forced induction. The engine with the code L15B7 has been installed in the Honda Civic FC, where the engine featured Dodge with dual VTC. But even though the name suggests as VTEC Turbo, it actually doesn't have the VTEC mechanism in the engine. In this engine, Honda retained the VTEC emblem just because the VTC is part of the VTEC mechanism. Nevertheless, the VTEC Turbo is capable in producing up to 192 horsepower from its 1.5-litre engine with the current generation Honda Accord. Today, we are very lucky as we have the full range of the Honda Type R in our stable. Let's go and drive it, every single one of them. Okay, currently I'm in the Honda Civic FD2R. The Honda Civic is produced in 2007. The Honda Civic FD2R is equipped with the K20A 2-litre natural aspirated engine, which produces 225 horsepower with 215 Nm of torque. This is the last JDM Type R that comes with the natural aspirated VTEC engine. And now, let's try it out. According to the official statistic, the 0 to 100 for the Honda Civic FD2R is rated at 6.3 seconds. Let's see whether the statistic is accurate. Okay, I'm ready to launch. RPM, 1500, second gear. The VTEC will kick in at 5800 RPM, and you will notice it when there is a sudden change of the engine pitch. The engine feels like it wants to go more and more and more. And now, let's go try the other Type R. Currently, I'm in the Honda Civic EK9. This car is produced in 1997 in Japan. The Honda Civic EK9 featured the B16B 1.6-litre natural aspirated engine, which produced 180 horsepower with 160 Nm of torque. The Honda Civic EK9 is the first Honda Civic that received the Type R emblem. Now, let's go and test it out. According to the statistic, the 0 to 100 for the Civic EK9 is rated at 6.8 seconds, which is 0.5 seconds later compared to the FD2R. Let's see whether the statistic is accurate. I'm ready to launch. 5000 RPM. The VTEC is kicks in at 6100 RPM. Third gear. How does it feel when the VTEC kicks in compared to the FD2R? The VTECs open later at 6100 RPM compared to the FD2R, which is 5800 RPM. When the VTEC kicks in, the engine feels very responsive, similar to the one on the Civic FD2R. The only limitation here is the 5th gear that is equipped with the Honda Civic EK9. I'm currently in the Honda Integra DC5. This Honda Integra DC5 is produced in 2002. The Honda Integra DC5 is equipped with the similar K20A as the one on the Civic FD2R, but with the lower power output at 220 horsepower with 206 Nm of torque. The Honda Integra DC5 is the last Integra that received the Type R emblem. And now, let's test it out. According to the statistic, the 0 to 100 for the Honda Integra DC5 is rated at 6.3 seconds, similar to the one on the Civic FD2R. Now, let's test it out. I'm ready to launch. First gear, 4000 RPM. The VTEC on the DC5 Integra is activated at 6000 RPM. Even though the Honda Integra DC5 used the similar engine as the FD2R, the power output is slightly lower. Just like the FD2R, there is a sudden change of the engine pitch when it reaches 6000 RPM. And I do feel like the VTEC on the Civic FD2R is much more powerful compared to the Honda Integra DC5. The engine is much more responsive compared to the DC5, even though it used the similar engine. So, what do you guys think of this topic? Is it interesting? For us at the Honda guys, we still prefer the old VTEC raw engine, the pre-turbo era. Even though the power is not relevant for today's standard, but the fun of driving and listen to the engine roar is so much fun. And also, we do notice that most of our return viewers did not subscribe to our channel. Please support us by subscribe to this channel. And if you guys have any suggestion to improve our channel, please do so in the comment section below. Please share and like this video. Remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell as well. I'm Ik, signing off for this week video. Watch this space for more interesting video next week. We are the Honda guys. We are all about Hondas. See you guys. Bye.